Hi, this is Howard Adler from Rochester, New York, otherwise known as Fearless Wolf. I was initiated in MKP in May 2015. I've also experienced the Mondo Zen or Integral Mondo Zen weekends. I've had 3 events. I wanted to present to you 2 senior people in MKP and Mondo Zen, Kodo Mike Elsler and Rich Tosi, to explain the benefits of meditation and this particular very innovative form of Zen practice that's associated with MKP. For me, it's just giving me a greater sense of peace, centeredness, connection with others, free of conflict, or at least minimizing of conflict, and just a real deepening. I'm really hoping to be able to share this experience with other men and women so they can have the benefits also. So here we go with Mike and Rich.
My name's Rich Tosi. I'm one of the 3 guys that started what's now the Mankind Project in January 1985. So we're like 31 and a half years into this. So I'm happy to be part of this. And Howard, I really appreciate what you're pulling us together here. So I'm in with that.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm Kodo.
Oh, Crazy Horse. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm Crazy Horse.
There you go.
Sorry.
Yeah. Kodo, Mike Elser, Soaring Eagle. My connection with Rich has gone back a few years, 9 years, I guess, back before I was chairman of the MKP, and I was chairman for 2 years and past chair for 2 years, and I'm on the board, and we've been troublemaking ever since. So that's us.
Yeah, that's CTM. My name is Rich Tosi, CTM. That stands for Chief Troublemaker.
That's right.
Got 2 troublemakers with me today.
I tag along just for fun.
Well, before I become a troublemaker and ask my really provocative question, I was wondering if you can briefly describe the Mondo Zen process. What is this?
Mondo Zen is it's actually the Mondo Zen koan practice. Koan is an enigmatic question that can't be answered by the thinking mind. Mm-hmm. So it's a process of 15 koans and sitting meditation to get beyond this thing we call ego. Right, get beyond ego. We normally think of in the Western mind the whole Descartes, right? I think, therefore I am.
Right.
What if instead of I think, therefore I am, therefore there's thinking? So Mondo Zen is a process of getting beyond the thinking mind to a much deeper level of being, your authentic self. For New Warrior Brothers, the NWTA does a wonderful job of introducing men to the emotions, being able to identify emotions, feeling the energy of those emotions arise, and realize that they come from probably come from a childhood wound, right? And introducing the idea of shadow. I think it was Einstein who said that you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it.
Right.
And shadow is one of those things. Working from shadow in an I group is wonderful work. But doing it from a place that is beyond ego is much, much more effective. So this is it's sitting meditation, it's deep, deep shadow work in addition to it. And that's Mondo Zen. Rich?
The word Mondo means dialogue. I don't know if you said that. Mondo Zen is a dialogue Zen, as opposed to sitting Zen, as opposed to other kinds. So it's actually an old tradition, as far as I know.
Yeah, 4,000 years old.
It's talking and learning from talking. So
yeah, Mondo specifically, Mon means dialogue and Do means the way. So it's the way of dialogue. And Zen is sit is meditation, just meditation mind. So it's a contradiction in terms almost. It's a paradox. Sitting meditation is silence, and then Mondo is dialogue, of course. And dialogue particularly speaks to the Western mind. We in the West want to know who, what, when, where, and how, right? So Junpo Dennis Kelly, who really brought the Mondo process to the West, who is also a warrior brother, by the way,
right.
Did a marvelous job of bringing this science of the East to the West in a way that the Western mind can absorb it. And that's what the IMZ is all about.
Here's my question. So I attended the New Warrior Training Adventure, and I regularly participate in an I group. I'm committed in growing my emotional maturity, owning my shadows, and behaving accountable in the world. So what could possibly be next in my own evolution to better myself, to deepen my connections with other men and women, and contribute to a better world?
Let me take a shot at it. It's a great question. Let me take a shot at it, Kodo. The New Warrior Training and the I groups and the follow-up work, for most men, they have grown. I'm going to use two different words: vertical growth and horizontal growth. Most men report that something profound happened at the New Warrior Training, which I will refer to as vertical growth. The greater capacity, greater understanding, greater compassion. So when we get into I groups are really not set up for vertical growth. They're set up for horizontal growth. They're set up for deepening. And as Mike already said, the focus of the New Warrior Training really is on resolving childhood issues. Okay. And what goes on with that is quite glorious. However, the structure of NWTA and I groups and other things keep us deeply horizontal. Integral Mondo Zen is an attempt, and a good one, to move vertically. In other words, move to a higher state. Just as the warrior training men moved up, this is to move to another less egoic place.
It's just so marvelous. I mean, it's the mentation that happens, the analytics that happen in the mind. It's almost instantaneous. Well, it isn't instantaneous. I feel an emotion and I react in a nanosecond. And slowing that way down so that we start, with the New Warrior Training adventure, identifying the emotions, owning my emotions, feeling my emotions deeply, is a really important thing. And really getting into the childhood wounds and where do those emotions come from? The next step is to say, well, the emotions come up now, certainly as a result of a reflection of those childhood wounds, right? I project them on someplace else, but it's about now. They bring me information about now. So in Mondo Zen, we talk about 6 senses, not just 5. In the West, we talk about seeing, hearing, feeling, smelling, and tasting, touching. Right? The 5 senses. In the East, they have 6 senses, and the 6th sense is thinking and fuzzy thinking, and fuzzy thinking is emotions. And those other 2, thinking and feeling, bring me information about my interior world, just like the sensing, the 5 senses, bring me information about the outside world. So learning the process of getting the information that is in each of those feelings, the feeling of anger or shame or disconnection, to actually get the deep care to understand and experience the deep care and fear and sadness maybe that's under that, and then feel the deep care and compassion that's under the fear and sadness. That's what the weekend is about. And then working from that perspective with the shadow. It's just so much more effective.
So one of the differences Mike Kodo has already referred to, I'll go back, in the warrior, we say, I'm angry.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving.
Mm-hmm.
From a Mondo Zen perspective, that's the ego talking, which is good. I'm all for egos. We're not getting rid of egos here. We're educating egos.
Right.
So at a level with Mondo Zen, you might say, I am, anger is arising. And simply disidentifying I am angry versus I am and anger is arising is a fundamentally different way of approaching emotions or thinking. But it's saying, okay, that emotion is giving me information, and it's not me. This emotion is not me, but there's a lot of information in it that I need. So we change how we talk, which changes our perception of what's going on. So
one thing I'm intuiting is hard to grasp this with just conceptually.
Yeah, you can't do it.
There must be something about having to experience this.
Yeah, you know that really well. I know you because you've done several IMZs, and so has your wife.
Right.
By the way, really, really good couples work. Would you agree, Howard?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's terrific couples work. Rich's wife has gone as well.
Transcending couples work.
yes,
and including, yeah, absolutely. It actually has helped Donna, my wife, and I make sense of what Rich and Shar present in their couples 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
No question, but you're exactly right. You can't get this by a mental process. It's not a mental process. You got
thinking process. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a thinking process. But so that's where the meditation comes in. The sitting meditation. We say, don't believe institutions, don't believe teachers, don't believe teachings, and certainly don't believe me. I'm bullshit from way back. Go and see for yourself. See for yourself. And believe your own experience.
I have one more question before we close. Any thoughts for somebody, a man or woman, that are kind of on the fence?
There is a comparison one could make between a man going to the warrior training. Why is he going to the warrior training? He doesn't know what it's about. And yet there's some part of him that's drawn to it, and he has an experience that he can't talk about before and really can't talk about after. It's an interior experience. In some ways, in many ways, the Integral Mondo Zen is the same thing. It's like there's a draw to it, and there's but you can't. It's just like the warrior training. You can't say, "Well, you're going to have this, and this experience." Well, it's just. I want to go back to it's a vertical growth, and it is about disidentifying with the ego at higher and higher levels. I don't know if that helps, but
yeah, we talk about another way of looking at it is that we talk about waking up, growing up, cleaning up, so that we can stand up for the world. And growing up is a big part of what the NWTA is about. It's about accountability. It's about integrity. It's about emotions, congruency. It's about all of those things. Right. So, and to some extent, it's about waking up too, because it's awakening to my emotion. Right? And what Mondo Zen is takes both of those things just to a deeper level. Waking up to a deeper level, certainly growing up to and really owning not only my emotions, but the message that's in my emotion and the accountability that results from that. And then cleaning up from this deeper understanding is quite remarkable. So if you're on the fence, give me a call. Give Rich a call.
Call Mike. Yeah.
I'd love to talk to you. I can tell you, my wife and I have been married for 45 years now. We just celebrated our 45th wedding anniversary, and this has been the best work for us in our relationship and us individually. I can't say it better than that.
I would have to second that.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much.
He's probably back there listening, so you can't say anything but the truth.
Always.
Right. So Howard, thank you for pulling this thing together. I deeply appreciate it.
I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah. Are we complete?
Are we complete?
All right. Well.
Wow.
Swaha. Out with joy.
Oh.
I'm checking out. Thank you.
Thank you.